Was a very contentious 27-minute interview, however. Joining me now to talk about that and more, Republican Congressman Ribble of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Carol. It's good to be with you.
Nice to have you here. You've been in the never Trump camp. Are you still?
I am, and the longer this goes on, the more convinced I am that the position I took really last September is still the correct one in relationship to Mr. Trump's ability to be president and his qualification to be president of the United States.
Can you expound on that? Why do you think that Mr. Trump would be a poor president?
Well, he certainly doesn't have the right temperament for it. I mean, we can just see this kind of silly spat that's going on about the wives and everything. All of these things distract from getting at the real policies that are necessary. When you do the deep dive on the policies that Mr. Trump is promoting, I don't believe they represent America's conservative positions. I think they would be greatly damaging to the U.S. economy. Some of his trade policies are similar to what Herbert Hoover tried in 1930 and 31 with punitive tariffs that led to 25% unemployment in this country in the Great Depression. I don't think Trump is right on the policies, and he certainly is not right on the discourse. So I've got lots of problems with him.
Are you throwing your support to any other Republican candidate?
You know, I've been asked that a bunch of times, Carol, and I haven't at this point kind of landed on either Senator Cruz or Governor Kasich, because I think both of them would be totally capable of being president. I think both of them would do a really good job. And so now it comes down for me, at least, a question of tactics. There are things I like a lot about Governor Kasich. For example, he's winning in almost every poll in a head-to-head against Hillary Clinton. And his tone and civility have been right. He's been right on the ideas for the most part, and he's electable. Cruz appeals more to my conservative side, and I think he's actually better on some of the policies than Governor Kasich, but he's not as strong on electability, so I'm still wrestling myself with this decision.
Is it possible you'll sit this one out?
No. I will be voting in the primary, and I will be voting in the fall. However, I have been clear that if Mr. Trump is the Republican nominee, that I would end up having to look down ballot. I believe Hillary Clinton has disqualified herself for other reasons, and so if it came down to Secretary Clinton or Donald Trump, I would have to be looking down ballot, not really dissimilar to what Senator Ben Sasse has been saying, and I happen to agree with the senator in that regard.
Are we headed for a contested Republican convention?
It sure looks like it to me. I think we're going to know a lot on April 5th, next Tuesday, depending on how Wisconsin goes. Clearly on the ground, Senator Cruz has a really good ground game in Wisconsin. He's gaining support in my congressional district, and I would say both him and Governor Kasich are really starting to make things happen up here in northeast Wisconsin. If one of those two wins Wisconsin outright, I think they would deny Donald Trump the nomination, and we would likely have a contested convention in July where the delegates will have to decide.
And a final question for you. How would you describe the state of the Republican Party right now?
Well, it certainly is a bit in disarray, but the Republican Party's always been good about debating ideas and issues, and we shouldn't be afraid of those debates. We need to have the debates. What we don't need to have is all the pettiness and the name-calling and the lack of civility. What we need to have is substantive debates on ideas, issues, and policies, and that has been what the Republicans have been known for, and I'm hoping to help redirect them back to that, and then we'll be fine.
All right. Congressman Ribble of Wisconsin, thanks so much for joining me this morning.